The gentleman, I have the privilege of introducing this next gentleman. He's got over 35 years of business experience. He started over 15 different companies on his own. He's negotiated hundreds, what's the word? Hundreds of million-dollar deals and has helped raise over $1 billion in capital for the companies that he's worked with. Cool or cool? Check this out. In 1979, he started a company with his partner. They started it with their own money, $500,000. Right? Their own money, $500,000. 12 years later, they sold the company. $1,600,000,000. Cool or cool? Do you think you might be able to learn something from this gentleman? I think so too. He is a phenomenal speaker. He's been on the stage with Brian Tracy, with Tony Robbins, with T. Harv Eker, with Robert Kiyosaki. Truly an amazing gentleman. You're going to love his presentation today. Robert Kiyosaki acknowledges him. How many of you have read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad? All right. He acknowledges this gentleman as the inspiration for that book. Based on this gentleman's teaching, Robert put the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad together. This is Robert Kiyosaki's teacher, and he's here to teach you this morning. Are you guys ready for some cool stuff? All right. He loves taking the theory and all the business strategies and skills that from out here and all over and bringing them down into concrete terms so that you can get started. How many of you are in business right now? And how many of you would like to take that business to an entirely new level? All right. That's what he does. How many of you are not in business right now? How many of you would like to start a business, though? Yes? Starting from scratch is something that he does also. You know, taking any business or any person and getting them into cooking them up with the strategies, the skills, all the technologies that they need so that their businesses will zoom and soar is exactly what this individual does. And aside from being a presenter and starting mega businesses and being a phenomenal entrepreneur and a teacher, he's also an amazing author. So please help me give a huge round of applause for Mr. Keith Cunningham!
Thank you. 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 Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a seat. Have a seat. Take a seat in a peak state. Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to be here. I'm very appreciative of the opportunity. Every time Harv invites us to speak, I'm always so grateful. And I'm grateful not only for the opportunity to speak, but I'm also particularly grateful for the fact that you're here. I think that money and time have a lot in common. You can spend them or you can invest them. You can spend your time, you can invest your time. You can spend your money, you can invest your money. And I think one of the reasons that people don't have the financial success that they would really like to have has to do with the skills that it takes in order to successfully invest your money and the skills it takes to successfully invest your time. And your being here for these 4 days with Harv at Extreme Wealth is all about an investment in yourself, an investment of your time. And I love working with people who are willing to invest. So thank you for being here very much. I'm going to start today. I have 3 outcomes that I want to have today to be about. Outcome number 1 is I want to be transparent. And what that really means to me is that I want to be able to teach you the best skills and tools that I have available, the best skills and tools that I have available over the next 2 or 2.5 hours. My goal is not to tell you what works in theory. I think there's a lot of people who are really good at teaching what works in theory. Sadly, it doesn't work in the real world. I mean, I think you have, if you're gonna get coaching, if you're gonna get teaching, if you're gonna learn from somebody, then for goodness sakes, let's learn from somebody who's actually been there, done that. Let's learn from somebody who's eating their own cooking and not throwing up. And my experience is there's a lot of people who want to teach you something that will help them sell books and seminars and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to learn something, and you got to learn critical skills and tools in order to be successful with your life. So the number one outcome that I have for today is to be transparent. Second outcome I have for today is to cause you to run out of ink. Run out of ink. In other words, for the next 2 or 2.5 hours, I want you to take notes. If you hear something that's good, write it down. They've done all kinds of studies, and what they've found out is that if you write something down, you will remember it 500% better, or your memory goes up 500% than if you don't write it down. So always, here's a rule, write this down. Write this down, what I'm about to say. Think on paper. Think on paper. Get it out of your mind and get it onto a piece of paper. So the first outcome I have today is to be transparent, to teach you what really works in the real world. The second outcome I have is to teach you skills and tools to have you run out of ink. So take lots of notes. Third outcome that I have today, just so you know, is that at the end of my presentation, I'm going to be talking to you about an opportunity where you can continue your business education with me. So I'm letting you know up front, that's something I'm going to be talking about towards the end. The educational programs that I do, just so you know, I have in excess of 615 different skills and tools that I've developed over the last 35 years of being in business. And think of it like a tool belt. I mean, I've got this tool belt that has over 600 different tools in it. So regardless of what the situation is that I encounter, I usually have a tool that will fit that particular problem. And the problem that I think most people have is they don't have a very big tool belt. In fact, most people only have one tool. You know what the problem is if all you have is a hammer? I mean, to the man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And so if you only have a hammer in your tool belt, you're constantly pulling out your hammer when what's required is not a hammer. What's required is a screwdriver or a saw or a level. So the idea is today I'm going to give you a half a dozen. That's about all I have time for in 2.5 hours. I'm going to give you a half a dozen of the best skills and tools that I have. And then I'm going to talk to you at the end about how if you'd like to have more skills and tools, there's a way to do that. I think what we've just handed out to you is a piece of paper. And on that piece of paper, I think there's two sides to it. We're going to look at the side of that paper that does not say rotoblock. Rotoblock is going to happen in a minute. We're going to look at the other side of that piece of paper. And what it's going to say, what that piece of paper says is it's a game. And we're going to play a marble game. How many people in here have played the marble game before? Oh, good, a number of you. So you're going to have an opportunity to play it again. How many people in here have never played the marble game? Oh, good, you're about to have a great time. And it's going to go very quick, and then I'm going to pull some very important lessons out of the marble game. The way the marble game works is that I've got a sack, and in this sack there are 10 marbles. And I'm going to pull the marbles out right now. 6 of these marbles are green, and 4 of these marbles are clear. What's your name? Jennifer, will you come look at this, please? You see 6 green ones? Yes. You see 4 clear ones? Yes. Good. Watch. There they go. All right, they're in the bag. All right, will you hold the bag for a minute? Good. Now, you can go sit down. Or you can come stand up here and teach this. I'll let you teach. All right, good. So there's 10 marbles. What's going to happen is you're going to start off with $100,000. And we're going to do a series of pulls. We're going to select a marble. In fact, you're going to select a marble. I'm going to walk around the audience and you're going to select a marble. And if a green marble comes out of the bag, you're going to win the amount that you wagered. However, if a clear marble comes out of the bag, you're going to lose the amount that you wagered. So on your piece of paper, I think what you see is something that says equity. And I think that number right now is 100. And then what's the next column say? It's amount risk. So amount risk. And then what's the next column say? Win, loss. Good. And then what's the final column say? Good. So total, and that's going to be a dollar amount. So here's the way that's going to work. Watch this. You're going to start with 100, and let's suppose you decide on the very first pull that you want to wager. You're feeling lucky, so you say, good, I'm going to wager 30,000. Then I'm going to walk around and you're going to pull the marble out. Not me. You'll pull the marble out and everybody will see it. And then if it's a green marble, do you win or lose on a green marble? You win on a green marble. How much do you win? Good. So let's suppose that we risk 30. We pull out a green marble. We're going to write down a W. How much did we win? We won 30. So how much in the next line is my new equity? How much is 130? That's it. So now I'm really doing good, and I say, well, I think this time I want to bet 50. And you have to place your bet before we pull the marble. Let's suppose we win again. Then how much do I have now? 180. I won 50. I won 50. So this number right here is now going to be 180. Do you know what you're going to do? Good. It's going to go very fast. It's going to go very fast. You're going to have to make the decisions very quickly on what you do or don't want to do. The object of the game is to win as much as you can. If, by chance, you go bankrupt, then you're out of the game until we're finished. And then we'll figure out what happened. Okay? Is that good? Yes, ma'am. The marbles will always go back into the bag, so we're always dealing with 10 marbles. Good. Make your first bet. Make your first bet. Let me ask you a question, Jennifer. Are you feeling lucky?
Yes, I am.
She says she's feeling lucky, ladies and gentlemen. Got your bets ready? Here we go. Here we go. First marble. Green, it's a winner. You won the amount that you risked. You won the amount that you risked. Hi, Don. Dan. Dan, how you doing? I'm Keith. Get your next bet ready. Here we go. Next bet. Dan, do you feel lucky? He feels very lucky. Here we go. A white, a clear. You just lost. Put it back in the bag. You just lost. You just lost however much you just bet. So get your new total. Now keep in mind that Dan said he felt lucky. And he just lost. Now here's a rule I didn't tell you. Dan is going to have to keep drawing until he draws a winner. Dan's going to keep drawing. So Dan, now how are you feeling? Dan is not feeling quite as lucky, so you may want to kind of gauge back on your bets. Get your bets ready. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's another clear one. Another loser. That's 2 losers in a row. What's the odds of us having 3 losers in a row? Holy cow. We're due for a winner, don't you think? All right, so are you feeling lucky? He's not feeling very lucky. If I were you, I would kind of pull back on the size of my bet. Get your bets ready. Get your bets ready. Here we go. Here we go. Another clear one. Another clear one. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 in a row. How could that happen? Has anybody gone broke? Holy cow. I guess some people are just going to get to sit and watch. That's what happens when you go broke. When you go broke, you don't get to play anymore. You just have to sit and watch. Sorry. Here we go. That's 3 in a row. Now, let me ask you a question. Don't you think that we're due for a green one? I do. I mean, if there was ever a time to back the truck up, this would be it. I mean, let's load this baby up. I mean, what's the odds of four losers in a row? I mean, how are you feeling? Are you feeling lucky?
Yes.
He's feeling lucky, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It's a clear one. It's another clear one. Are you kidding me? Now how many people are bankrupt? A few more hands. Okay. So what is that? Four green ones in a row? Four white ones in a row. Four clear ones in a row. So that we have 4 losers in a row. What is it? What is she telling me? No, they're in there. Look. Look inside. Look inside.
Yeah, they're there.
Are they there?
Oh, they're there.
Are they there? Are there 6 green ones in there? There are, aren't there? 6 green ones. I haven't messed with it. We're good. Are you feeling lucky?
No.
We got no way of knowing what this guy. This guy's in shock. Make your bet. Make your bet. Here we go. Sorry, he's got to keep going until he gets a winner. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. A clear one. Another clear one. That is 5 in a row. Holy cow. How much money would y'all give me to go to somebody else? I mean, this is unbelievable. 5 bad ones in a row? Are you kidding me? She just said he never wins. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Are we due? Are we due? Yes, we're due. Here we go, here we go. Here it comes, here it comes. He's using a different hand. A green one! Yay! Okay, you just won however much you just bet. You just won however much you just bet. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Are you out of the game?
I'm out of the game.
She's out of the game. She can't pull. Patrick, are you still in the game?
I'm in the game.
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Who's got more than 100,000?
How did he do
Who's got more than 50,000? Good. Oh, that's a bunch. Good. Who's totally out of the game? Okay, good. Here we go. Patrick, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you feeling lucky?
I am.
All right, now we had a whole ton of bad ones. We're due for a whole ton of good ones.
We are.
Wait, how much you betting?
1,000.
What a weenie. I mean, if you're going to run with the big dogs, let's play.
I'm playing 60% of my...
Let's play. No, really, let's play. If we're going to play, let's play. What's all this puss around mess? Let's go. Let's go. Come on, make a bet. 10 grand.
I don't have it.
How much you got?
1,500.
You got 1,500? And you're betting 1,000? You're a good man. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Get ready. A green one. Attaboy. Attaboy. Here we go. Are you still in the game, Chuck? He's out of the game. How you doing, Jim? Totally out. Bradley, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
How much? 94,000, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a hand. That's pretty good. Are you feeling lucky? He feels lucky. How much are you going to bet? 3,000. You got 94,000. Let's go. Let's make a bet. 20 grand. 30 grand. 30 grand, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Here we go. 30 grand. He's going to bet 30 grand, so you're really feeling lucky. I'm feeling lucky, too. Go ahead and bet. Here we go. Blow on it. Blow on it. Rub it. Here we go. Clear one. Not good. Not good. Not good. Here we go. Are you feeling lucky this time? You know, this is a time you would double down. I mean, you just took a hit of 30. Let's get it back and then some. What do you think? Let's go ahead and swing for it. Because if you hit it, it's good. How much are you going to bet? 50. 50. Say 50. Say 50. Let's go. 50. 50. He did it. Here we go. Here we go. Let's pull it, Bradley. Here we go.
Let's go, Bradley. Come on, brother.
Here we go. Here we go. Green! Attaboy, Bradley. I knew it. We doubled down. That was good. That was good. How many pulls have we done? 10? 10. We've done 10. How are we doing, by the way? Who's got over 100? Who's got over 200? Who's got over 300? Who's got over 400? How much do you have? 410. 410,000. This is the guy that won 12 grand last night. Is that right? Are you feeling lucky? He's feeling lucky, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to pull the next marble. So how big is the bet? $200,000. Ladies and gentlemen, he's betting half the pot. Here we go. Are you ready? Obviously, he feels lucky. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. This is a very talented guy. Green, I told you. Here you go. Put it back in there. He just won 200. He's up to 600. Anybody got more than 600,000? Who's got more than 600? You do? How much do you have? 634. How much do you have? 610. Are you feeling lucky?
Yeah, I am.
He's feeling very lucky. How much are you going to bet?
We'll bet 100. 100,000.
And you feel lucky? I mean, if you feel lucky, you go ahead and take a swipe at it. Let's go.
Let's bet 600,000.
600,000, ladies and gentlemen. How are you going to, if he wins, you're in trouble. How you doing? You're going 600 too. Okay, here it is. The Battle of the Titans. Here we go. These guys feel lucky. Here we go. That's it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Green one. Man, all we got to do is get these guys that are winning a lot. Now, they got over $1 million. How many people are bankrupt? Good. This is our last one. This is the last one. This is the last one. We're not going to do it again. So you better, if you're going to win, you better go ahead and bet. Are you feeling lucky? How much are you betting? 10,000? How much do you have? You have what you started with. You're just betting 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, and you're even. Is that right? 10% of the game. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You betting 10,000? This is it. Here we go. Last pull. Better bet big. Better bet big. Green. All right, good. Okay, good. Let's figure out what happened. What's this game really about? Ah, I love that. This game is, how many people, let me see, how much did my big boys get? How much did you guys, over here, how much did y'all have? 1.3. 1 point what? 1.235? So 1.3 is the high. Anybody in here higher than 1.3 million? Anybody higher than that? Good. Give him a hand. Stand up. We're going to give you a hand. What? What happened? Hang on, hang on, hang on. Shh, shh, shh. 1 million? 10 million? 10 million. Wow, give her a hand. That is huge. 10 million. Where are, how many people have less than 100 but more than 0? Less than 100 but more than 0, good. How many people have 0? All right, that's good. And how many people have more than 200? Good, good. What was your strategy? Because somebody said it, and this is very, very important, and that's why I love this game. This game has a whole lot to do with strategies and emotions and all of that gibberish that I was doing, you know, talking about, okay, well, you need a, you know, bet big, and we've had 4, you know, white ones in a row, and, you know, if you're getting feeling lucky, then go ahead and pump up the volume, back the truck up, bet big. All that kind of stuff is just nonsense. And the truth is, there's people that are busy pumping you full of nonsense all the time. All the time. I mean, brokers are there to get your money, to cause you to do a transaction. And the bigger the transaction you do, the more money they make. So brokers typically are there to get you to do a transaction, and whether you win or lose makes no difference to the broker. And my experience is oftentimes people wind up using their emotions instead of their intellect to make decisions. How many people at one point or another during the last 15 minutes made an emotional decision? I mean, might as well tell the truth. I mean, holy cow. I mean, it's only a game. Let me see your hands again. Let me see them. How many people thank you for your honesty. How many people during the last 15 minutes did not once did you make an emotional decision? I mean, you stuck with it, you stuck with it, you stuck with it. This is your plan. You will not deviate from your plan. Tell me your plan. I need a mic right here. Tell me your plan. So, just a mic right up here in front. We're going to be doing a little talking. We're going to figure out what her plan is. What's your name? Marie. Give Marie a hand. Very nice. All right, Marie, tell me your plan. What was the strategy?
Well, my strategy was to go in, like risk a chunk, because I didn't do a big chunk last night. I did a little, and I won a little, and the guy behind me got the jackpot. So
okay.
I didn't want that to happen.
So what was your strategy?
So go in with a chunk, but then the first loss, I reduced what I bet.
Right, but what was your strategy? I understand the plan. What was the percentages? Did you have percentages, or was it just kind of based on your gut?
No, I actually I took over 1/3.
You what?
My strategy was to go in chunks of about 1/3.
A third. So you're betting 1/3 of your money. Is that right?
Yeah.
Good. Now let me give her a hand.
But when it went on a loss, I did not. I bet 10%
okay, so
on a loss.
Every time there was a loss, you reduced your bet.
I did.
Is that right?
I did.
All right. And some people, every time there was a loss, they increased their bet. Let me give her a hand. Very nice. Let me ask you a question. How in the world could we get this many different results? I got people in here with nothing. I got somebody in here with 10 million. I got a couple people with over 1 million. I got about half the room that's got less than 100. I got more people that have got more than 100 but less than 1 million. How in the world could that happen? We all were playing the exact same marbles. It was the exact same marbles. Every time a green one came out, it was green for you, green for you, green for you. Every time a clear one came out, it was clear for everybody in the room. Do you know what dictated your results? Yes, the size of your bet. The size of your bet is called a position. How big of a position did you take? And I agree with Harv, how you do anything is how you do everything. And my experience is how people play this game usually is a reflection of how they play in real life. Only people usually play this game better than they do in real life. The truth of the matter is that if you wound up with over probably 250,000, or if you wound up bankrupt, you got the same problem. I'm going to say that again. If you made a ton of money, or you went broke, there is no difference in the mentality of those two people. The people who made a ton of money, the people who went broke, they got the same mentality. There was no way in this game to make a ton of money unless you used your emotions. You bet, you got lucky. And I think there's a lot of people out there in the world who are getting lucky. I think there's a lot of people that got lucky in real estate over the course of the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. And then in the last 6 months, all of a sudden, all those people who got lucky are busy giving that money back because they got lucky. They just had, I'm not saying they didn't do anything. They bought real estate and then real estate went up in value, but they didn't do anything to create that increase in value. This is a game where if you made a ton or if you went broke, the only difference was whether you did or didn't get lucky. That's the only difference. But the only way you could have 10 million is if you made some huge bets. How many people in here at least once bet it all? At least once. You bet it all. Now, why in the world would you do that? Why in the world would you do that? That's a crazy thing to do. I know the game was about over, and people do that sometimes when there's a clock ticking. All of a sudden their emotions kick in and they say, oh, well, it's just a game. I want to see how much I could end up with. And instead of using their brain, they use their glands. And my experience is most people are glandular investors. Most people are glandular in their business decisions. I will tell you this, write this down. This will be one of the things you write down. Business is an intellectual sport. Investing is an intellectual sport. And the people that do the very best at it are the people who use their intellect, who use their brain and not their emotions, not their gut, not their intuition. Look, I'm great with gut feelings, if the gut feelings are based on something. So if I ask you the question, all right? I've had these heart problems, and I'm feeling like I've been told I need open heart surgery. Would you just kind of go in and do open heart surgery on me and just use your gut, use your intuition? I mean, that's what people are doing all the time. They're going in and they're asking somebody to use their intuition or their gut on something that doesn't respond well to gut kinds of things. Business and investing is the same way. I would rely on Michael DeBakey's gut. If I went to Michael DeBakey and I said, you know who he is? Michael DeBakey is the original guy who started doing heart transplants. I mean, he's one of the first two people who did heart transplants. This guy's done over 50,000 open heart surgeries. So if I went to Michael DeBakey and I said, Michael, just look, I got these heart problems, use your gut, I would be willing to rely on Michael DeBakey's gut. Why? Because his gut and his intuition is based on experience as opposed to emotions. In this particular game, and the reason I love to play it is because there's so many, I could teach about this game for 3 or 4 hours. But in this particular game, where's my guy over here that bet 10,000, 10,000, 10,000? Bring him a mic real quick, okay? What's your name? What? Real. Did you say real or real? Real. Good. I'll call you Real. Is that better? Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Real, stand up. Stand up. Real, what was your plan in this game?
My plan was that I would bet 10% of the total take. There was 100 grand on the table. Only play with 10% of the available money you had.
All right, good. And so at the end of the game, how much did you end up with?
110,000.
He wound up with 110,000. How many winners did we have in this game? No, how many green marbles? How many green marbles? Sorry, that was a bad question. 7 green marbles. How many clear marbles? 6. Is that right? So we had 7 green, 6 clear. Is that right? Was there one more green than clear? Yes, that would be true, which is how he wound up with 110,000. Now, if he's betting 10%, by the way, that was very nicely done, because, number one, could he ever go broke by only betting 10% of what he made? No, he could never go broke. Because if he got down to 50,000, then how much was your low point?
70,000.
70,000 was his low point, so at that point you were betting 7,000, is that right?
I kept it at 10,000.
You kept it at 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, which is okay, but would it have been possible in this game for there to have been 10 clear marbles in a row?
Oh, yes.
Is that possible? Yeah, it is. So under your theory, you were still exposed to some risk. Did anybody, don't sit down, I'm going to come back to you. Did anybody in here use just a percentage, a percentage, a percentage? Good, right there. Yes, stand up. We're going to bring you a mic. Hang on, leave this mic here. They're going to bring you a mic right now.
Yeah,
good, tell me.
I did exactly the 10%, and it finished at 103. That wasn't exactly, I rounded a bit, so I went from, I was down at 77,000, I bet.
And how much did you end up
7,
with?
103.
103.
103.
So by doing 10%, 10%, rounding a little bit, you
Right.
wound up at 103. You wound up Real at 110. Is that right?
Okay, correct.
Now I want you to think about something. There's 2 things. Give both these guys a hand. Thank you. Thank you. I want you to think about something on this game. The game took how long? 15 minutes? 15 minutes. there's 4 of those in an hour. Let's suppose there's 8 work hours, so that's 32 15-minute chunks. Suppose every 15 minutes you could make a 10% return on your money. Now see, here's what happens. People get all enamored with this idea of making 10 million, which I'm glad you'd made 10 million, but the truth is you got lucky. It's the only way it could have happened. You don't make 10 million in this game with 7 winners and 6 losers. You don't make 10 million in this game unless you guessed right. And you don't go broke in this game unless you guessed wrong. So, but the truth is, if you made a ton or you lost it all, either way you were guessing. And what's required to be successful in investing, what's required to be successful in business is take the guesswork out. Now here's the whole problem. Real had this problem. This guy, I'm sorry I didn't get your name. Clay. Glenn. Glenn and Real, and where are the rest of the people that did a percentage or a fixed amount? Good. Here's the problem. They were bored out of their skull. That's the whole problem. And nobody wants to be bored. And so what we do is we say, oh, well, this is the last one. Well, we've had 3 bad ones in a row. You know, I know I'm supposed to be doing 10%, but boy, we've had 3, 4, 5. We've had 4 bad ones. We've had 5 bad ones in a row. I'm going to load up. And that makes it fun. It makes it exciting. So here's the problem with all those people who bet a percentage. Every one of them, number one, had more than they started with. If you bet a percentage or a fixed amount and didn't change, you wound up with more than you started with. In this game, you had to. Here's the problem they all faced. Boring, boring, boring. I'm going crazy. Hurry up. I hate this. Nothing's happening. Boring, 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 but I'm rich. But I'm rich. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. I'm going to suggest something to you. Getting rich is boring. Write that down. Going broke is exciting. Getting rich should be boring. And for most people, the truth is, they are addicted to adrenaline. They're addicted to the rush. They want excitement. You don't put excitement into your money. Making money should be boring. And the reason is because you're removing all of the emotions. Does that make sense? All right, good. Tell me something you just learned. You guys have been taking notes. Somebody tell me something that's either boy, oh boy, am I glad I was reminded of that, or something where you saw your own behavior, just something you learned. Hang on, they're bringing you a mic right here. What's your name?
Azita.
Azita. What's something you learned?
I play emotional. I take huge risks. When we were losing, I was taking risks, huge risks.
Yes.
And betting that it would work out. And so what I learned is to take the emotion out, to have a system.
Good.
To be knowledgeable and be bored.
And be boring. Thank you. That's a great lesson.
Yes.
Give her a hand. Very nice. That's a lesson. That's the lesson I hoped you would get. I hoped you would get the lesson that, look, you have to have some rules. Write that down. If you try to invest, if you try to become wealthy and you don't have rules, then you are speculating. You are gambling. Your emotions are in play. Look, I don't know about you, but I have a worst enemy. You know what his name is? Teeth. Teeth is my worst enemy. That little sucker never sleeps. He is constantly rearing up, trying to screw me up. It happens over and over and over again. I have to have some rules that will protect me from me. Check it out. I don't know about you, but all my problems started out as a good idea. How about you? Is it true? I mean, who wakes up in the morning and says, okay, today's the day I'm going to go out and wreck my life? Nobody does that. We all go out every day we think we're doing the right thing, and all of our problems started out as a good idea. I have to have rules in place that protect Keith from Keith. Keith is my worst enemy. It's unbelievable. I'm going to be talking more about rules in a second. I'm also going to be talking about investing and investing mastery. That's kind of what my theme is for today. It's what Harv asked me to talk about. And in fact, on the flip side of the piece of paper that you guys have been playing this game on, by the way, give yourselves a hand for playing the game. Very good.